Hello and good evening. I come to you this evening in the name of the Republic to which we swear allegiance to, the Republic of the United States of America. Not the democracy, but the Republic. On this evening, we are undertaking the election results of the major general election for the presidency of the United States of America. And the two candidates in the two-party dictatorship that constitutes our republic could not contrast more than each other. And I know for many of you tonight, you may be having a feeling of anxiety and unsettlement, no different from a football game or a basketball game. Is your candidate going to make it? And whether your candidate makes it, you'll be euphoric, you'll be happy. And if they don't, you'll be depressed and you'll feel down. To those of us who have listened to the rhetoric on both sides, and on one side which seemed to be very extreme, I want to tell you that there's nothing for you to fear. There's nothing for you to fear. This republic has been through worse. This republic has been through worse, and this republic have built-in mechanisms that makes it correct itself when it goes too far to the right or too far to the left. So on tonight, I want to tell you to remain calm. On tonight, I want to send a message to all of the people in the United States of America whom are here and whom are undocumented. I want to tell you that those who advocate that on day one or day two, they will have the biggest deportation program in the history of the United States. While it's doable, it is not economically feasible. In order for the capitalist system to operate and be successful, it needs a constant supply of cheap labor. No other time was it more successful during African slavery when it did not have to pay for its labor. And all of the people who stand or to advocate this policy are lying to themselves. They're lying to themselves about abortion, because very often the people who have the most abortions in our society are older people. Women in their late 40s and their 50s who do not want a late life pregnancy. It's not the youth. It's not the teenagers. The teenagers have the children. They become teenage moms. So these very rich people who profess to be close to Christ and close to Jesus and to be believers, who wants to save the unborn but kill the living. They want to kill me and they want to kill you. I want you to know there's nothing to fear tonight. I want to remind you that no one stays on top forever. No one. No one is going to rule over us forever. By natural progression and by nature itself, things are going to evolve and things are going to change. And any society and any system that is not in equilibrium by the law of physics has to adjust to get into equilibrium. So tonight I want to tell you, don't be afraid. Don't go to bed scared. The Holy Church and your holy leader, Pope Peter Emmanuel, is going to stand with you. And whatever comes, we're going to stand together and we're going to fight, because we have no other choice because the struggle continues and the struggle never ends. So, whatever the results, I want you to be calm. I want you to be peaceful. One side is advocating, should they lose, they're going to resort to violence, which makes our republic and our standing in the world looks very bad. Because we've been the one going around the world telling people how to hold elections and telling Maduro in Venezuela he was not elected, and telling the people in Iran they don't have a democracy, and wherever we have been and whichever governments we have overthrown by the means of the military coup. And then we want to teach people on how to govern themselves. And right here where we have a systematic effort to deny voting to certain groups of people, to deny the rights to vote. You see, just because people earn the right to vote through a law or through the Constitution doesn't mean they can exercise it. Is your vote really going to be counted? On this election night and this election day, I have to let you know that I have personally boycotted the election. I did not vote. For the first time ever, with me having the right to vote, I have decided to boycott the the franchise. That's what I decided to do. And so I want you to know that it's okay. Because in certain political, certain countries, if there is an election and the opposition don't like it or somebody don't like it, they just boycott the vote, so it's not valid. So you got the right to vote and you have to got the right not to vote. And if you truly feel and you know that your vote is not going to be counted anyway, what does it matter? So all I am here to tell you tonight, do not despair, do not be afraid. If the United States of America decide to get rid of, if you go to any hospital, if you even go to your doctors, all of your doctors have names you cannot pronounce. They're from foreign countries. The nurses in the hospitals are from foreign countries, from the Philippines, from the Caribbean, and from Africa. The doctors are from Africa, from India, from China. So the United States itself is not even producing the skilled people that it needs to run its economy and to look after itself. So what I'm trying to say to you tonight is that do not despair. Do not be afraid. We have been through worse. No one stays on top forever. Many of these people you see screaming and shouting and looking to put in draconian rules. Soon they will get old. Soon they'll become disabled. They'll be in a nursing home where a Filipino caregiver, Jamaican caregiver, Caribbean caregiver, African caregiver will have to wipe their bottom for them and bathe them and feed them. They will leave the scene and they'll soon be forgotten, whether they be the president. How many of you even know who Jimmy Carter is? How many of you even remember George Herbert Walker Bush or even G.W. Bush? Some of you are just too young, and others of you, even if you're old enough, once these people have faded from the scene, that is it. So again, I say we must be calm, we must be civil, we must obey the rules, and have no fear, because no one stays on top forever. Not even in sex. You have to switch positions. You have to switch positions. So I'm just telling you, don't be afraid. Don't worry. There'll be no mass deportations because the very capitalist people and the industrialists and the home builders and the roofers will not be able to do their work without a constant and uninterrupted supply of undocumented migrant workers. So I stand with the people. I stand with the downtrodden. I stand with the masses as a person of conscience and a person who believes in the goodness and the humanity that we should all have and show to one another. And as in ending, as always, I bless you, God bless you, I bless you, and have a great evening.